Okay, let's just get right into this explainer. Look, if you've been clicking on endless fitness routines, scrolling through diet advice, and honestly, just feeling totally exhausted by a scale that literally will not budge, I see you. Your efforts are valid, and your frustration is completely justified. Today, we're going to unpack exactly why your weight loss journey has felt like an unwinnable battle, and, way more importantly, how to finally tip those scales in your favor.
It's the ultimate frustrating question, isn't it? Like, you know the feeling, somebody you know eats whatever they want, whenever they want, and never gains a single pound. Meanwhile, you literally just look at a slice of pizza and your jeans somehow get tighter. You're doing everything right, you're following the rules, but your body just refuses to cooperate. It feels entirely unfair. But as we're about to see, this isn't actually about fairness at all. It's about mechanics.
And this brilliantly illustrates our foundational premise for today. As Dr. Ma from TELUS Health states, science-based weight management isn't about trying harder, it's about understanding the biology of hunger. If you've failed a diet in the past, it is rarely a lack of willpower. Seriously. Your body is wired to hold on to weight, and what you're experiencing is an intense biological response to starvation signals. So let's just completely drop the guilt right now.
So Section 1. The Call to Adventure.
We're framing your physical struggle not as some miserable chore, but as an epic quest. Just like Luke Skywalker or Frodo Baggins, every epic tale involves a seemingly impossible goal. Your fitness journey, whether that's losing 50 pounds or completely changing your body composition, well, that's your storyline for transformation. And it's a completely surmountable quest once you know the plot points ahead. Every great hero starts in the ordinary world before they receive their call to adventure. Often you face some early rejection or hit a moment of failure. That's exactly when you have to reach out and find your mentor to gather support and accountability. Actually, before we go any further, jump into the comments right now and tell me, what has been your single biggest hurdle in your ordinary world so far? Let's build that accountability right here, right now.
All right, moving into Section 2, your body is a factory.
Now that we've set the stage for your adventure, let's look at the actual biological mechanics you're up against. We're going to demystify the complex science of metabolism by looking at your body as a 24/7 industrial complex. People throw around the word metabolism like it's a genetic personality trait, right? Like you either just have a fast one or a slow one. But it's actually a mechanical process. Your body is a factory that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it never shuts down. Metabolism is simply the process by which this factory takes raw materials from the loading dock, which is your food, and converts it into the energy needed to keep the machinery running.
60 to 70%. That is the massive chunk of all the calories you burn in a single day that go exclusively to what doctors call your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. This isn't from running on a treadmill or lifting heavy weights. This is just keeping the lights on in the factory. Breathing, circulating blood, running your brain, repairing cells. The furnace in the basement is burning this energy constantly, even if you are literally just lying in bed all day long. And this brings us to why two people at the exact same weight can have wildly different operating costs. Muscle tissue is like a superactive department on the payroll. It has employees working around the clock, consuming energy just by existing. Fat tissue, on the other hand, is basically an empty warehouse. It just sits there storing stuff, and it costs almost nothing to maintain. So if you have more muscle, your factor has a higher energy bill, meaning your furnace naturally runs hotter.
Which leads us to Section 3. The metabolic adaptation ordeal. Moving back to our hero's journey framework, every hero eventually faces a major roadblock, and yours is a biological inevitability known as metabolic adaptation. Let's walk through the somewhat grim reality of crash diets. Step 1, you cut your calories drastically. Step 2, your body, which, remember, evolved over 200,000 years to survive famines, senses a massive drop in fuel. Step 3, the factory CEO absolutely panics and slashes the budget across the board. They turn down the thermostat, they run on a skeleton crew, and Step 4, your metabolism drastically slows down to match that reduced food supply.
I really want to let this sink in for a second. You didn't fail the diet. The factory outsmarted you. When you crash diet and then eventually start eating normally again, your factory is still stuck in crisis mode. So all that new food goes straight into the warehouse as fat. You didn't lack discipline, you were just playing a game against a 200,000-year-old biological survival mechanism.
Okay, Section 4. Overcoming the plateau.
So how do we actually outsmart this panicking factory CEO? Well, I'm about to give you a multi-step formula. But first, we have to clear up a major misconception.
The supplement industry really wants you to believe you can just swallow some green tea extract or cayenne pepper to boost your metabolism. But using those is essentially just opening a window in your factory on a cold day. It creates a tiny, maybe 2 to 3% draft. Sure, technically the heating system works a tiny bit harder for a few hours, but it does absolutely nothing to change the fundamental operating cost of your building.
And here it is, the mega tip. These are the actionable, science-backed levers to actually increase your factory's operating costs safely. First up, build muscle. You want to add those active, expensive departments. Second, eat enough protein. Digesting food actually burns about 10% of your daily energy, and protein costs the body the most to process. Third, get adequate sleep. This is crucial for keeping the CEO from panicking. Fourth, stay active all day. Just fidgeting and walking burn way more overall than a single 45-minute gym session. And finally, use a moderate 10 to 15% calorie reduction. That way the budget cut flies totally under the radar.
Finally, Section 5, your weight loss journey.
Now we are pulling it all together. Armed with the knowledge of how your factory actually works, your weight loss journey no longer has to be this frustrating mystery of unpredictable plateaus and sudden regressions. This timeline beautifully normalizes the struggle. At month 1, you answer the call. By month 3, you inevitably face the metabolic adaptation ordeal. You know, the holiday trifecta, the stress, the biological pushback. But by month 6, using our mega tip, you overcome the plateau. And by 1 year, you are returning with the ultimate prize. These setbacks aren't failures, guys. They are just expected, necessary plot points in your epic narrative.
So what is that ultimate prize? The elixir? This is about sustainable health and gaining a completely new perspective on your body. Claiming this prize isn't just about what the scale says, it's about transforming into an extraordinary being in what was once your ordinary world. You have successfully upgraded your factory and completely rewritten your biological baseline.
Which brings us to our final, provocative thought to wrap up this explainer. What will be your very first step to upgrading your factory today? Are you going to add a new active department by lifting weights? Or are you going to focus on keeping the CEO calm with some better sleep tonight? Let us know your exact next move in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive.